Okay, welcome guys. So in this video, we will see how we can create REST APIs using SQL Developer and ORDS so that we can access the data in the SQL Developer in the database over the web using the HTTP or HTTPS. So we have different methods like get, put, delete, post. All these methods is basically for the REST APIs. So we'll cover all these methods in this video. Before we start, just want to share that we have these prerequisites mentioned over here. Like the very first thing is like ORDS is installed in your machine and it's up and running. So in my case, I have installed ORDS on the top of Tomcat Apache, which is acting as a web listener for my API. Here, if you see, my ORDS is running, so it's a web listener to my Apex. I have already published one blog in which I have like step by step documented like how to install Apex and how you can install the ORDS in your Windows machine. I will put that link in the description box. Okay. Okay. After that, where exactly the ORDS is running, we have to create one developer user. I will show you that just a minute. So in my case, my odds is running in this directory here. Okay, so I will copy this path and I will open command prompt or this PowerShell, uh, run as administrator. Okay, so I will first change directory to that path where my odds is running so that I can execute this command. It will create a user, which username is developer user, and this is the role actually. It is asking me for a password, so I will provide a password. Okay, our user got created. Okay, next step is to enable the rest for the schema. So in this video, I'm going to use Oracle sample customer schema. I will show you just a moment. So this is the schema actually which was provided by the Oracle. So this is free schema. I'm going to use this for in this blog. This has all these tables like customer, orders, order items, product, and all. So I will create some APIs based on these tables. Okay. So the first thing is to enable this customer order schema. Like we are enabling this for the rest. So we have to just right click on this schema and we'll come below and there is one option REST services. We'll select this and we'll click on enable REST services. Okay, so for sake of this simplicity, we are not going to put any authorization as of now, and I can change the alias name for my this schema. So I will say customer orders. Just have to click next and you can see what SQL it is firing. Okay, just click on finish. Okay, so you have enabled this customer order schema and you can actually verify that this also. So the your odds link actually where the odds is hosted. So in my case, localhost port 8080 odds. So if I click on this link, it will actually I can test whether my services are like properly enabled or not for my customer orders. Okay, so as of now we haven't enabled any like object. So the next thing is I will go here the customer table and I have just right click and I just to click on this. I just have to click on this enable REST services so that the REST services enabled for this particular object customer. Okay, so I'm not going to change the object alias. I just have to remove the authorization part. You can see what SQL it is firing. You can just click on finish. Okay, so now you can actually go and check whether your object is now you are able to access over the web or not. So I am going to use Postman for that. Okay, so you can see the result over here. The data is in the JSON format. So if you see the structure of the customer table is customer ID, email ID, and full name. So this is what the JSON is. Uh, if you see here, the customer ID, email address, full name, links, and all this information actually. Okay. Okay, just want to show you one thing. Like if you try to access orders table from this REST service, let's see what it will show. So it's showing that 404 not found because we haven't enabled any REST service for this object. So let's just just enable the REST services for this particular object. Okay, now if you try accessing the orders from this REST service, let's see. Okay, now you are able to get the complete orders. And if you notice the below, the count of the records are 25 because the limit is 25 actually for the page. So you can actually get the next page using this link, and the first is this. So all set of links are present over here, and you can check the metadata also by clicking this link actually. So it will give you the metadata details like what the column type, like order ID's number, date, timestamp, like that actually. And one more thing I want to cover over here, like this service actually. So if you want to fetch details for one single user, you just have to pass the customer ID number like 286 we want to fetch. Okay, so this is the detail for the one customer ID. It's saying 286, the email ID and the full name. Okay, okay. So like now till now we have like enabled the services and all, and we have tested that the services are working fine. Our next step is to build the APIs on top of these objects. Okay. Okay, now we are in the SQL Developer. The very first step is to go and create one development connection so that we can create our REST APIs. Okay, so the username in the previous step we have like created this user actually for the role of with the role of the SQL developer. This username we have to provide over here. Okay, and our workspace and the schema is like our customer order CO, the alias name actually. So let me just check is customer orders. Okay, customer orders. You just have to pass this actually schema alias which you have provided at the time of when you enabled your schema for the rest. So this is the schema name actually customer orders. You just have to provide all these details. So my port is 8080. Okay, so this connection is like I have uh, saved. So I will go to view REST services and the development tab, and I'm trying to connect that particular connection which I have created just few seconds ago. And password is like when you have created this user at the time of war ords.war, so you have to provide that password only. Okay, you can actually validate the RESTful services or also like whether everything is fine or not. Okay, so next step is to create a module actually. So in this video, I'm going to show you different modules. I'm going to show you two different get modules and sorry, get methods actually in different modules, and I will try post as well as I will also try delete. So the first module I'm trying to build over here to get the customer details. So my requirement is like to get the customer details on the basis of some input parameter provided the runtime to the API, something like that. Like I have to fetch, like we have to fetch all the customer whose name is starting with SAN, like that. It's my requirement to build our API. Okay, so for that actually I have to start and I have to create a new module. So here I will provide my module name is get customer details, and my URI prefix is search because I'm going to search some user, and I'm going to click on this checkbox public like publish, make this RESTful service available for use, and for testing purpose I'm going to show only 10 records per page and URI pattern. Okay, so we are actually going to provide some text at the runtime so that we can actually concatenate that text with the query which we are going to write so that we can search the customers. Okay, so there was some extra space over there, so I've removed that extra space. So this is my get method actually, and the source type is my collection query, and I will just click on this and I will just click on the finish. So if you see here, the get module will this method will come over here. So if I click on this, it will open SQL worksheet tab, uh, parameters and details. So I'm going to write one SQL here which will actually return the record. So I have already written something like that, which is my requirement. So I will just quickly put it over here. So like now I have to concatenate this. This is basically coming from the user, like on the runtime. Okay, so basically that is my text which is coming from the user. Okay, so let me just quickly check whether it's working fine or not. Okay, so it is giving me details. Let me just quickly save this, and I have to just validate or upload. You can actually validate and you can upload this module. Okay, so this module is like uploaded. You can check the details over here, like what is the URI example. So you can just copy this and you can actually test over here in your Postman or the any other tool which you are going to use. So I'm going to use this particular tool. So let me just quickly check. Okay, so it is giving me records like on the basis of my text, and if you see only four records are there in the. Let me just quickly check some other text like something like John or something like Adam. Okay, so we have three different customers with the name whose name starts with the Adam. Let me just cross check whether the query is giving the same result or not in database, just for the just for the cross checking purpose. Okay, we are getting the same result. Just want to show you one more thing, like I have added one more template over here, the same template like this one cust, and here if you see that I am taking this bind variable as separate as a parameter, and that too as a there's a in the header which is an input parameter. So if you see the URI pattern, it's not a bind variable but it's just a name. So if I go and copy this URI path and provide this parameter text as a HTTP header, so it will work in the same way actually I have just tested. So like this. So if you just provide a dumb over here, So you're getting the result. So here it's like you're providing a parameter as a header. So you have changed the setting in your SQL developer. Like here, what do you want as a parameters? Like previously we have provided the data itself in the URI. So that's why the, if you see this one, this particular handler, so if you see here, the parameter itself is in the URI, which is the bind variable. So it works both way actually. Okay, in this example, I will show you how you can create a API which is having the multiple parameters. So previously we have seen like one single parameter. So we are providing the name as an input text bind variable. So in this example, we'll see like how we can provide the multiple parameters. So this is my requirement to fetch the orders on the basis of customer ID and the order status. So I will go quickly and create a new module for this. So this is something my new model like get orders details, something like that. And prefix, I can go and I can say because I'm going to search orders, so I will provide something like that, and I will provide only 10 for testing purpose. Okay, so URI pattern, I'm going to fetch actually orders. This is my get method only, so I will not change this method handler. Let me finish. So I will open my SQL worksheet over here, and I will just quickly copy this over here. So basically now we have to provide two different parameters. So the first parameter is my customer ID, and my second parameter is the order status. Make sure there is no extra spaces, otherwise. And I'm going, you can change the source type also if you want to in the URI also, or you want into the HTTP header. Like last time we have like seen, we have provided this parameter as a header. So if you want, you can go with the URI option also. So like that you can select both option as a URI only. Okay, now you have to change your query like that so that you can search on the basis of the bind variables. Just quickly run this so that you can check whether the count is working or not. So we have to provide some data to check the query. So let me just quickly check. Okay, I will provide 272 as my customer ID 272. Let me get the completed orders. I think I have done some mistake over there. Status is complete 272. Okay, so we are getting the data. Everything is fine. Let me just quickly validate, and let me just quickly upload this. So this is just uploaded. So you remember that we have provided the parameters as a URI. So I will test like that only. Okay. So the first parameter is customer ID. Second parameter is order status. So this is 272 and this one is complete. If you notice here, the URL is going to be like uh, pasting the details in the URI itself. That's because our options are like that only. It's like URI. If you see the previous example, it was like a header, so it's going as a header. So that's the difference of this parameters actually. Actually, I've uploaded this one. Actually, I have to upload this module. So before that, just quickly validate this. Let me just upload this module. Okay. Now I will try again. Okay, so we are actually the API is working fine and the rows are returned. So in the JSON format, so you can actually check like these are the orders which are actually the cancelled one for this customer, particularly 272. Okay. Okay, so my next requirement is to create a API with a post method so that we can create a customer in this customer table. So I will start a new module over here, so which will actually, so in this module, which actually later on we can add some more handles. So I will take as a general name like manage customer, something like that. Manage cust. Okay. So this is post. So pagination is like nothing, not an option. So I will provide just a random name like cust. Okay, this is my post method actually. Okay, everything is fine. So let me just quickly open this post method. Now I have to provide a SQL. I have already created over here. So I will just quickly copy paste. So basically what I am doing, I have to like this bind variables which are coming from the user, which are going to invoke this API. And I will just quickly insert into the customer table and return the this actually output string actually. Okay, so this is where nothing but this is just a string which I'm going to provide in the output. This is my output string which is having the customer ID which will got generate. Okay, so it has actually this variable. This is my input parameter, full name. This is also my input parameter. All I'm also setting all these as HTTP headers. Okay, this is string out. I want to set this as a out parameter to my user in the form of response. And there is one more parameter I have to set, which is for the status. So this one is for my status. This is out. HTTP header. Just quickly check there are no extra spaces. Things are fine. Let me just upload this, first validate, and let me just upload this template. This is uploaded. Let me just quickly copy this path. This is post, and I have to provide headers which I have set it like full, and this one email which is the in parameter. So I have to provide this. Okay, let me just quickly hit send. Okay, so it's saying that the record got inserted with the customer ID 414. Let me just quickly check in the database. Okay, so the record got created. So we have done like how we can create a post method API, and we have tested in the post one also. Okay, so we are done with this post. Now we can add one more handler over here. So if you see over here, this is under this. So we can add more handler over here. So we want delete handler. Okay, so we have just applied. So we have to provide the SQL. I have already. So if you see, this is a SQL worksheet. We have to provide a SQL over here. So I have already created one uh, SQL. I will just quickly show you. I'm doing nothing. I'm taking the parameter as from the user, which is the bind variable email ID, and I'm just deleting the customer from my customer table. On the basis of the email ID, I'm returning the customer ID. Okay. So there are some extra spaces. Okay. So this is my input parameter. String out is my out parameter is the response to user, and The another one is the status code. This is out parameter as a HTTP header only. So so we will upload this. We will validate and we'll upload this. Okay, now we'll upload this template. I will get this path. We'll go here. This is my delete method, and I have to provide a parameter, which is my email ID. Let me just delete this user, which just now we have created. Okay, so the record got deleted and the customer ID is 414. If we just quickly check that this record got deleted or not. Okay, the record got deleted. So here we have just like cover all these examples of creating like get methods of single variable and multiple variables, multiple parameters, and we have tested the post method also, and we have tested the delete method also. I will like provide all these details in the description box and all the links in the description box. Thank you for watching this video.